This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 6.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
The jury is deliberating the punishment for Felix Alonso, who pleaded guilty to the aggravated robbery of his step-grandfather in 2019. The victim, 67-year-old Larry Fauver, died in that robbery.
KCBD News Channel 11's Natalie Falkenberry joins us live from the Lubbock County Courthouse with our continuing coverage. Natalie?
Well, Karen and Abner, the jury went into deliberation about 2.5 hours ago. This comes after both the state and the defense rested their cases. Now, during the closing arguments, the prosecution referred the jury back to the evidence and the testimony that they've heard this week, arguing that the evidence that they provided proves that this crime was premeditated, stating that if the defendant, Mr. Alonso, did not intend to hurt anyone in this robbery, he would not have provided the alleged co-defendants with loaded firearms. Now, worth noting, during the state's closing arguments, the defendant, who chose not to testify in this case, interrupted the prosecution twice. It's unclear exactly what the defendant was saying, but the second time he spoke out, Judge Eichmann stopped proceedings and stated that Alonso would be removed from the courtroom if he continued this behavior. During the defense closing, Nick Olguin urged the jury to consider how long 15 or even 20 years is, pleading that his client learned from this mistake that he made at just 19 years old, asking the jury for mercy and stating that the defendant pled guilty to the crime so that he can move on with the life that he is meant for. Now, also worth noting, since the jury entered deliberations, multiple jurors have asked the judge to contact their loved ones to let them know why they are not home yet. That's because the jurors are not allowed to use their phones while they are in deliberation. So as I said, the jury is still in deliberation, and it may very well be tomorrow before we hear the sentencing, but we'll continue to update you as soon as we hear something from the jury. Back to you, Karen and Abner.
Thank you, Natalie.